So today I want to go over all the different leaks and information we have pointing to the first newly released class for Diablo 4. And I've gone over some of these leaks in the past that show that the first post-launch class for Diablo 4 will be holy based, and now we even have some additional information possibly pointing to this being the case as well. And this new information comes from a Reddit user that did a form of data mining where they got a bunch of information that points towards a new damaging type that would point towards a holy class. And this list of information shows all of the different damaging types in the game and different categories of damage. So you have skill lightning, skill death, skill summon, skill cold, you have skill nature magic earth, skill nature magic storm, skill bleed, skill poison, skill dismount, all this information that is stuff that's currently in the game and all things that are damage categories. But there's two in here that aren't in the game right now. We have skill justice and skill ancient. Now justice is a shoo-in to just be something based around a holy class. Makes complete sense that a new holy class would come out and they would have some type of damaging type that would be justice. And I know some people will say that the barbarians have Call of the Ancients, but all of these information strings are based around a damage category or a category for a specific class. Nothing else in here is based around a specific skill, so I don't think this is referencing Call of the Ancients from the barbarian. And skill ancient is just a bit more interesting because it widens the possibilities of what this first class could be, but it still would make complete sense that some holy based class is also using some type of ancient magic or ancient damage types, because if they're a holy based class, they get a lot of their power from heaven, and heaven and hell being much more ancient than sanctuary itself. So it would just make complete sense that like a Valkyrie or a Crusader or some angel class would also be using more ancient magic. Now that's just some of the newest information we have pointing at what this class could potentially be, but we also have some leaks and information going back months that also point at what the first new class could potentially be. And the biggest of this being some leaked art from Displate that was quickly removed after people noticed that there is potentially a sixth class being revealed within this art. And this piece of art seems to be showing 6 different classes for Diablo 4 in the same art style as previous art pieces showing off the classes currently available in Diablo 4. Now, when the game was first revealed, there was an art piece that looked very similar to this that only showed the sorcerer, the druid, and the barbarian, but then later on, as they revealed the 2 other classes, the rogue and the necromancer, they also had similar art pieces that showed all 5 of the classes, but this leaked piece of art shows what seems to be a 6th class. And this art piece shows the necromancer at the left, the sorcerer to the right of that, the druid to the bottom of them, the barbarian to the right of the druid, and the rogue above the barbarian. But then at the center of this art piece, there is what seems to be another class that looks like some type of Valkyrie or angelic type of class. They're using a shield, a spear, they have angelic wings sprouted out, and their eyes look like they're glowing with holy energy. But this character does have their face being shown, and without that, this character would legitimately just look like an angel. Because if you don't know, in the Diablo universe, angels don't actually have faces. All angels are basically wearing hoods, and under that hood, it's either just blackness or what looks like just holy energy. The only time we've actually seen an angel with a face is when Tyrael stopped being an angel, got his wings removed, got thrown down to Sanctuary, and then after that, Tyrael had a face, but he wasn't an angel, so he didn't have his angel wings anymore. And this character seems to be showing both a face and angel wings. Now, there's a handful of theories of what this class could be based upon this art. It could potentially just be a Crusader or a Paladin, and the wings could just be an ability that sprouts these wings for a cooldown or something. Or this could be some new version of an angel, like the lore is furthered, and now somehow an angel could have their wings and their face. Maybe it could also just be some type of angel that was thrown down to Sanctuary like Tyrael, but they kept some of their power, so one of their cooldowns sprouts their wings for a limited time, so they still have a face, or this could potentially be something more new, with one of the most popular theories being a type of Valkyrie. And like I mentioned, this was taken down from Displate after it was being posted about on Reddit, so it seems to be something that Displate was never supposed to have released. And even past all these leaks, we have some information in Diablo 4 that I think teases at the possibility of an upcoming holy class. First off, being Viego at the start of the Diablo 4 campaign. He's part of the holy faction within Diablo 4. He uses multiple new holy abilities, one of them being this holy wall that seems to stop projectiles. It slows enemies that try to walk through it, and it speeds up allies as they walk through it. And then there are some other holy NPCs that use completely unique animations based around holy abilities, and I personally don't think they would be creating these high quality animations just for some random NPCs during the main campaign to only use. So it would make complete sense that they reuse these holy animations for a holy based class, and potentially even added some of these in for these NPCs just to tease a future class. But then you even have some of the story later on pointing towards a possibility of a holy class. And this all kind of starts off with the developers confirming that the gates of heaven are closed during the events of Diablo 4, and this was revealed, I believe, at BlizzCon 2019.
So it's important to mention that, like, since the events of Diablo 3, like, heaven closed its gates, phones off the hook, they're not taking our calls, right? Like, nobody's answering. Haradrim are incommunicado,
we're
so
screwed,
we're kind of on our own.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not great.
But they revealed that the gates of heaven are completely closed, and all the entities on Sanctuary don't have contact with any entities in heaven, even including Inarius, because that's one of Inarius's main goals, is to be allowed back in heaven. And there are going to be some spoilers here, but at the end of the main campaign of Diablo 4, Inarius is defeated by Lilith, and even though he currently can't get back into heaven and basically has no contact with heaven, I would say it's a pretty good chance that some of the other angels in heaven are probably going to be pretty pissed that Lilith killed Inarius and killed one of the archangels of heaven. And my personal theory about this is that the first expansion for Diablo 4 is going to be based around heaven. The gates of heaven are going to open up, with the angels obviously being pretty pissed that Inarius was killed on Sanctuary, potentially trying to attack Sanctuary or remove the corruption of Lilith and all of her followers. Heaven becomes a playable area, and that would bring along with it our first holy based class, being one of the potential options we went over in this video. And some of the developers of Diablo 4 have in the past talked about wanting to create wholly new classes for Diablo 4, so it would make complete sense that they would want to create a completely new class, but kind of based on previous archetypes. So they can make a Valkyrie that's a wholly new class that we've never seen before in the Diablo franchise, that could potentially push the lore of Diablo forward, but is still grounded in previous classes. So it could be a holy based class with a shield and a spear that takes some elements of Crusaders or Paladins, but allows them to also make something completely new. And with all this information combined, I think we're on a pretty solid track to what could potentially be the first class added into Diablo 4 after its launch. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.